for Carlos Valderrama and the many other Colombians in the stadium to enjoy in the first half. The first half in which James Rodriguez...
Question is, who are we going to get? Colombia, Senegal, Japan? Doesn't really matter, does it? Because football's coming home at the end of the day. 2018 is going to be our year. Like, it's crazy. We still speak about 1966 like it happened like yesterday. Imagine what will happen like if we suddenly win the World Cup this year. I don't know, we'll see, won't we? If you're wondering like what this thing is right here, like I haven't suddenly turned alpha male and been in loads of fights. It's just a cold sore, so. Sup guys, how we doing, and welcome back to another YouTube video. So I went to WH Smith and got a whiteboard, so the next few videos I'm going to try and provide as much content as possible. So I've had a few questions recently, like how do I train, what muscle groups do I kind of train, and how do I do it, what's my training split. So I thought I'd do a video basically to explain that each training split is customized to yourself. Again, there's not a one-fits-all approach, so what I do will be different to somebody else. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to customize your training split and how exactly you can do this. So first of all, what is a training split? A training split is a program that when you divide each of your muscle groups up throughout the week. And how exactly do you do this? Well, you've all heard of the old school bro method, like chest and tricep, back and biceps, legs, that old school, which I think most people followed sort of 4 or 5 years ago, which is fine, and that still provides results, but will it provide the most optimal results in terms of would you be able to get there quicker by doing a different split? This works for me, this might not work for yourself, but this is exactly how I do it. So, and also I apologise about the handwriting, it's absolutely atrocious. You might not be able to read it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. First point to look at is frequency, and that is exactly how many times you can train a week. With this, the most important thing to do is to be realistic. I'll come across so many people that, you know, with new clients, I'll ask them, you know, how many times a week can you train? And they'll turn to me and be like, oh, I can train most days, 5, 6 times. Within a matter of a couple of weeks, they're only training twice. Something comes up or work gets in the way, which is absolutely fine, and that's realistic, and gym isn't everything. Things happen outside the gym, which is acceptable. But why I say you've got to be realistic is with your training split, like with anything, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to think, is it sustainable? Can you do it week in, week out? So there's no point of saying, oh yeah, I can train 6 times a week, every single week, then it doesn't really work out, and 2 weeks later you're only training twice. So be realistic. So I'm going to use myself for example, and this is going to relate to my prep and exactly what I did for my prep. So how many times a week could I train? Technically I could train 7 days a week, but you need that rest day, so I've put down 6 days. So the next point that I'm going to look at is muscles trained. So in terms of that, what I mean is, are you hitting every muscle group 2 times a week? Are you hitting it twice a week? Going back to the old school bro method, when you're doing chest and triceps, back and biceps, legs, for example, that never really worked, because for a lot of people, they can't train so many days in a week, and they weren't hitting each muscle group twice. So that means you might only be hitting your back once every week. You know, you need to be hitting it twice, so every sort of 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and that's going to optimize your results. For example, if you can only train 3 times a week, you've got to make sure that you get in every single muscle group twice. So what will be beneficial to yourself is, if you can only train 3 times a week, you wouldn't perhaps train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You would kind of split it up throughout the week. By that, what I mean is you're going to have to train twice a week. So if you're hitting, I don't know, for example, an upper body day, a lower body day, and a full body day, you're hitting your legs one day after the other. Purely for rest reasons, once you've trained a muscle group, you've got to allow at least 24 hours for it to recover. The final area that we'll look at is a specific area. So by that I mean, have you got a specific area that you want to improve? For example, do you want to increase your chest muscle mass, for example? If you are, you might be hitting that a few more times in the week. You've really got to target that area. So going back to myself, my prep, I really want to target my upper body. And that's not to say that I didn't train legs at all, I just want to focus a little bit more on upper body. So once you've worked out your frequency and how many days a week you can train, is it enough days to train the muscle groups twice a week? And have you got a specific area that you want to target? Because that will affect how your training split will work. Training split that I took up for my prep, which enabled me to train 6 days a week, to target every muscle group twice, and to focus a little bit more on upper body, the training split I used was push, pull, lower, upper, lower, upper. So that meant that I did upper body on 1, 2, 3, 4 days, which meant with a push and a pull that I trained my back, my chest, and my shoulders, and my arms 3 times a week. But then I've still got my lower body twice a week. So that one, 6 days a week, tick, 2 times a week, and then upper body, did I target that? Yes. So this works for myself. Let me just rub this. This is the rubber I got. Like, look at that. Let's see how good this is. So in terms of the different training types that you can use, I've written down 3 different training types that I would suggest to my clients. So the standard one, push-pull legs, and you can target your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, all in the push day. Your pull movements would be your back and biceps, and then your legs would be quads, hamstrings, calves, glutes. That's quite a popular one, and that's the one that I'm using at the moment, just so I hit every muscle group twice. Another one that you could use would be an upper lower. This would be good for people that perhaps haven't got much time to train. So this would be perfect for someone that could train either sort of 3 times a week. The only thing that I would do there was make an upper lower and then like a full body day. So then you're targeting every muscle group twice. Finally, you can mix and combine the 2. So you could do a push, pull, lower, upper, lower. Again, you're hitting each muscle group twice, and you're still covering all aspects. So you could also involve different training splits to put different muscle groups together, so like chest, back, for example, shoulders and arms, as long as you're hitting every muscle group twice. And I know I keep saying that, but that's the most important thing. The problem is with a lot of people is they'll be like, yeah, this is my training plan, but then for example they might miss out a day and they'll be like, oh, I'll just miss that day out. The problem with that is once you miss that day out, that might be a day that you were doing shoulders, for example. That means that you only train shoulders once a week, which to the standard person they might think that's alright, but if you want to optimize your results the best way possible and you want to increase that muscle mass, then you've got to train twice a week. So I hope that helped, guys. The most important thing to do is base it on you and find what works best for yourself. Once you've kind of found out how many days you can go and what fits in with your lifestyle and your life, then you'll get the results much quicker. If you're basing your program on somebody else, unfortunately, you might still get results, but not the best way. Find a split that's sustainable, that you can do every single week, and you can keep at it for a long time, and you're good to go. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next one. So I almost forgot to say this one thing. If you do this, you'll most likely succeed and you'll get the results that you've ever wanted. Hey, come on, boys!